Well, good morning, Arapahoe Road leaders. This is Pastor Matt, and I wanted to go over some things that we went over in church council last night. It was the June 2016 church council, because many of you are brand new. Some of you've been doing this for a while, but it's a good refresher as we try to move forward in making our teams the most effective they can be in connecting with the vision and the mission of the church. And so, again, the vision of the church is helping all of Denver and the nations believe that Jesus is enough, the sufficiency of Christ above all things, and that we go about that by making hopeful, joyful disciples of Jesus who are ready to take that next step. Hope and joy is very key, and in another video, I'm going to take time to go over that. But what we want to do is just to make sure that we as teams aren't functioning as silos. And I mentioned those silos last night where you got one group of people that are one team that's doing one thing over here and another is doing another and another is doing another, and they're not intersecting, they're not connecting. In fact, one team can have a particular vision and mission. Well, with the silo mentality, another team could have another mission and vision and be going in all sorts of different directions, even as we occupy the same name and we occupy the same building. What we want to do is to make sure that we are sending everybody in the same direction, and that whatever goals we develop, whatever momentum we develop, that we're all moving in the same lane, going at the speed that God would have us to go. Now, this is where it's going to be important, because the silo ministry has to go. We have to ask ourselves, with our individual teams, what role and in what way do our teams help make hopeful, joyful disciples? And just so you know, I didn't make up the hopeful, joyful disciples part. Jesus told us in the Great Commission to go and make disciples. And he told us in the Great Commandment to love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and also to love our neighbors as ourselves. And so the Great Commandment and the Great Commission intertwined, but that's the question that we asked, is that everything that we do and say as a church must answer the mission, which we've talked about, that the present function of the church, which is making disciples, that moves toward our vision, which is the preferred future, wanting to see everybody know Christ. And then the question was, what should my team do in order to fulfill that mission? So this is something that we as teams need to be thinking about, need to be talking about, finding out what the roles are. And we as leaders will be able to come in, we as pastors will be able to come in and be able to help answer some of those questions. The second thing that we brought up was that our goal isn't just to get things done, but it's to get the right things done. And I mentioned in a sermon a couple of weeks ago that I used to always ask the question, I still do, why? I don't ask it as much anymore because I've gotten some answers. But if the why question is, well, that's the way we've always done it, or it's answered with a blank look on your face with a shrug and saying, I don't know why we do things. Well, that can be a problem. We need to recover the why of things and to see, well, does it fit? Does it fit? And so why do we do what we do? Is there a better way that we can do what we do to fulfill the vision? In what way does the fellowship team come along and be able to help make disciples? And what are the right things that they can do? And what can the stewardship team do? What can security do? What can all of these particular teams? And they all, while it may not be direct with just one step, there are things and ways that each of the teams can function to be able to move forward with that. One of the other things is that we will provide better ways to equip you in various aspects of training to help you manage your teams better. Wayne Peterson sent along some of the things that we're looking at, and we're hoping to get some feedback from you to see if this would be something that works. But times such as understanding the vision and mission of the church, spiritual disciplines, which we're talking about prayer, Bible study, church attendance, engaging in evangelism, disciple making, etc. Delegation and teamwork, running meetings effectively, to be able to get good things done, things done well, a willingness to receive training. Do you as leaders have that? We must acquire that. Identifying and equipping your successors. That way when you roll off, whoever's your successor isn't trying to rebuild the wheel. You can begin moving things forward and begin pouring into them and helping them. Accountability. goals, priorities, and keeping momentum, and also a budgeting process. Some of you may be brand new to what the budgeting process is, but we have a system in place for that. This would be a great way for you to be able to learn through that. Now, one of the other things, and we'll go over this at another time because I want to try to keep these between 5 and 6 minutes. But what we want to do is to help you to understand some leadership traits that you all need to have, which they are these 5 C's. And I'm going to take you over here. Hope it won't make you sick. Actually, I said 5 C's. We added a 6th one: competency, character, connectedness, confidentiality, concentration, and communication, being able to communicate well. These are the things that are going to be very important for us as we begin to move forward in being the leaders that God would have us to be. Again, hope I didn't make you seasick. But I'm thankful that we were able to have this time together. And some of these trainings will probably be done, maybe not together, but these trainings may be able to be done using technology such as this. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And I'm looking forward to seeing what God has in store for us. But let's be the great leaders that God has called us to be, because He's put us in this position for such a time as this. Thanks a lot. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.